Hey guys, part 3, State Park. Um, this place is just phenomenal. Uh, look what looks like to be a start of a TP there. Very well may not be, but just from my experience and what I read, it certainly looks like one. Some may say that's weather, and I'm not saying that it's not. Look at that big arch from there, comes up, goes around. Wow, there's a lot going on here, guys. Okay, so it splits off. It goes two ways. What's this say? Apparently there's a creek or a small pond. Well, there's both from what he told me. Park ranger, I was talking to the park ranger, and he said that there's a couple bodies of water along with a creek, and depending on what trail you take, in other words, not all the trails lead to the same. And ooh, that sounded like it was tossed. Let's see what we got back here. Something dark. I'm getting face recognition, I know that. That's interesting. That's the first time I've gotten that since I've been walking it. I'll go back to it in a second. Let me see if it changes when I go back. Boy, it is raining. I am going to get a wet butt. I didn't bring my full face closed helmet either. It's all good. I may be a little cold when I get home, but nothing a hot shower can't handle. Oh man, look at this trail. Wow. I mean, they keep this place really maintained well. I love it. Some people have mixed emotions about the trails being the upkeep of the trails, because a lot of times the beings they'll do their structures, or they'll leave language right on trail, and I'm okay with it. I feel like if there's something there that says do not cross, I wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't touch it, um, but in reality, I don't touch any of it. If I know they made it, I don't touch it. But I know they have a job to do, and they have to keep these trails open for the hikers and so forth. So I mean, I get it. I understand. Sorry for being all over the place, guys. I just want to get in an area where I can start doing some zooming again. And up on this hill looks like it may be a good spot to do so. Oh, I just heard something else. I keep hearing something that sounds like it's being tossed at me. Not at me, but in my direction. I'm seeing something right now that looks tribal. It almost looks like a chief's head with headgear on straight in front of me, and it possibly may not be, but that's just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing actually a couple different things. Straight dead center of the screen, there's actually an X beside it to the right. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. If I see them and we get them on video, I'm just going to keep it moving, just out of respect. I normally do that. Some people have come back and asked me, why don't you stay on it? I wanted to see. Well, you can go back. You can rewind or go back and check it out later. Some people like it, some people don't. Wow. That face right there looks like something that I don't want to speak on. Man, there's a lot of stuff here. Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. You can see where it was broke off and put in place. Interesting. Let me zoom out, guys. There's so much going on. I know I keep saying it, but this place is just amazing. Now I know why I was starting to get a little touch of a headache. The weather moved in sooner than the weatherman claimed. Of course, I tell everyone, some people say, well, your weather looks like it's going to be a good day, clear and sunny. And I said, well, yeah, for the ones on the outside or doesn't live near to the Chesapeake Bay, yeah, I bet it is. But the ones that live on the bay or near the bay within 10, 15 miles, it's a whole nother weather. It's a whole nother world. I just want to make sure I'm looping around back towards the bike and not going towards a whole nother set of miles somewhere else. Well, I planned on walking back out the same way, so it doesn't matter. Okay, here's a field. I like checking the field edges out. I always seem to spot things standing and watching. Boy, the honeysuckle is already smelling great, nice and sweet. That hole right there, I'm seeing something in it, but it's really hard to look with the sun in my face. And that's the other thing, it's sunny and it's raining. Well, the sun's peeking out in spots. It just so happened that that hole was right in the sun, which is fine. Sorry for getting quiet, guys. I had a little change up in the energy. Looking for footprints. I mean, there's plenty of boot prints and horse prints, but I always look for that toes and, the bare feet. And I don't want to get muddy because I got to put my feet on the my floorboards of my bike, and they're black rubber, and I don't want to get mud all tracked up on my bike. Man, this is a huge trail through here. Goes up, goes around, and goes out. That is really wide. And there's a leaner against that tree. This place is so phenomenal that I don't know where to go next. That's how much I'm seeing, guys, just to give you an idea. I know I can't show you everything, but I'm doing my best. This place has so much going on that I don't know where to go from one point to the next. That's how much stuff is going on here. That's how much I'm seeing. I just heard, I don't know if it was a turkey, but it was a long ways away. Look at this, like a directional break. Wow, look how deep that trail goes down in there. it's really muddy, or I would walk down in it. All right, guys. I'm getting ready to go on to part 4. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep them kind of short because it's probably going to be many of them. Man, look at these big trees, big poplars. I was talking to the park ranger. They had a big Bullington, a big job offering on the Bullington. They were looking for park rangers, and he actually brought it up. We got talking about some other things, and I said, "Oh, I saw the post, the bulletin post about you guys looking for park rangers." And he said, "Oh yeah, we need so many, and we can't keep park rangers." I said, "Huh? Look at that trail. Wow." I said, "I wonder why." He said, "Well, it's a lot of ground to cover, and they expect so much out of you." He said, "And I think a lot of it has to do with the simple fact that it's boring." And I said, "Boring?" I said, "It wouldn't be boring for me, because I'm thinking, man, I'd be walking these trails every day, and trying to help people, and, whatever." And he said, "I love it here." He said, "I can't imagine just leaving." And I said, "That's me." He's like, "Well, you ought to put in for it." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe. I'll check it out." And he asked me for my name. He said, "I'll put it in a word. You let me know." We exchanged numbers, and he said, "I'll give him a heads up if you decide to do it." I said, "Man, I appreciate that." So it's something to think about later on down the road. It's definitely right down my alley. Boy, it's raining hard. I don't know if I want to come out from this canopy or not and yeah, I'll keep going. I just don't want to get everything, my equipment wet, because I can put it in my bike once I get back to it inside my saddlebag. They're hard bags, fiberglass, so I don't have to worry about getting that wet. And I do have a dry coat and stuff in there. This is interesting. Big old stone against the tree. I wonder if it has any rain. Oh, I'm getting wet. Wet. I don't want to get wet until I'm almost back. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here and start, I believe, part 4. Oh, man. This must have been a homestead at one point. Let's see what it says. When does trash become history? Huh. I don't know. But I can tell you this, there's a lot of it. And it looks like there was an old house here at one time. Interesting. I don't like to see that, but at the same time, if it is part of history, then I can understand why it's still there. Boy, it is. I know I've said it 1,000 times. There's a creek down there in the bottom. Let me see if I can get not there. I can't. I thought maybe I could zoom down and show you guys. Yeah, there's the creek. You can see a little bit of it. And anyway, I'm getting wet. All right, guys, I'm going on to the next part. Blessings to each and every one of you. Thanks for coming along.